Hello, poodling around us. How's it going with you today? My interview today really has a bit of a backstory to it. If we rewind a little bit to lockdown 2020 here in the UK, it was an absolute nightmare for our visitor attractions. But in the midst of this, I received a request from Levens Hall and Gardens for an idea that could attract an international audience and therefore gain some funding. I analysed what this Cumbrian visitor attraction had and decided that the unique selling point, which was having the world's oldest topiary garden, wasn't really that well known. So from there, I suggested founding a World Topiary Day to help give Levens Hall an international profile and put it at the top of the tree, if you'll pardon the pun, of the topiary world. The idea was intended to spread the love of topiary across the globe and make it really cool again. As we approach our fourth year, and I consider the 7 PR and marketing awards that we've already won for this initiative, I'd say it had well and truly done that. But what I really didn't expect was the amazing support of French gardens, who've embraced the idea with great gusto. Now that was very much down to the phenomenal enthusiasm of my guest today, Patrick Salembier, the president of the European Boxwood and Topiary Society. We shall hear all about this very soon. But what else can I tell you? Well, this year it's exciting, as we've sent a topiary message in a bottle around some of the gardens taking part in World Topiary Day, which as usual will be on May the 12th. This bottle in its little box has left Levens Hall and Gardens a few weeks ago and headed to the monumental gardens of Val San Zibio near Padua in Italy. Now, regular listeners may recall that I had a podcast with Val San Zibio last year. So if you want to know all about how amazing it is, look for that Poodling Around podcast from around April 2023. From Val San Zibio, stop-offs for the topiary message in a bottle will include Marquessac, a fantastic topiary garden in the Dordogne in France, and then La Balue in the north. From there, it should be passed around English gardens, including Elton Hall, and hopefully Welsh garden Plas Cadnant, before returning to Levens Hall. So that's the backdrop to my interview with Patrick, but let's find out more about how World Topiary Day has ticked the box of world gardens. Good morning, Patrick. Thank you for joining me today. Now, World Topiary Day was something that we created here in the UK for Levens Hall and Gardens, which is the home of the world's oldest topiary garden, to help topiary gardens come together and celebrate the art of topiary. So how excited were you when you heard about that in France?
Yes, I heard about it on by the newspaper on Google, and I knew well Levens Hall before. And I was very excited to know there is a World Topiary Day in Levens Hall. And I thought the idea was to make it a worldwide event.
Yes.
Not a small event, but a worldwide event.
Yes, because I was very excited when I heard how excited you were, really, that you'd spread the word to all these other gardens and that people found it a really interesting idea. So that was exciting for me, having created that idea in the first place. So it's been marvellous, hasn't it? But how many members do you have within your branch of the EBTS in France, and what countries do they come from?
But we have, at the time, I think we have about 450 members, and they are coming from France, Belgium, Portugal, Spain, Italy, and US states. We have a lot of members in the USA.
Yes.
Yes, and a few in UK.
Yes. It's amazing to me that you have members in the USA, being
Yes.
your European branch.
Yes, we have delegations. As we have a Longwood, which is the largest garden in the US. That is our delegation for Pennsylvania. And we have a delegation in New York and another one in Washington.
Okay.
and it works very well. My friend from New York came to Versailles last week with us.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yes, because a lot of gardens have got involved with World Topiary Day over the last 3 years, haven't they? What sort of things have they done to celebrate?
You know what they are organizing for the World Topiary Day, those gardens?
Mm.
Yes, they organize a clipping atelier or clipping works demonstration and garden visits, and well, it's the best thing they organize. And
Mm.
sometimes they organize a lecture about the history of the prey. Sometimes, but
Yes.
most of the time it's demonstration of a topiary art.
And I think that's really interesting for people, isn't it? Because topiary is something that I think people want to know how to do, but they don't know how to do it. They need somebody
Yeah.
to guide them through the process.
Yes, that's right. They have to relax to come into topiary.
Yes.
They think it's impossible to do that, so they have to learn.
Yeah. Yeah, and it does seem impossible when you first look at it, but there is a way to go about doing it, isn't it? And once
Yeah.
you know that,
I will show you my garden if you have time. But I remember the first time I do topiary in my gardens, the shapes were wrong, and my scissors in the good way. So I have learned at Versailles how to do that.
oh,
Yes.
and Versailles is one of the gardens that has taken part in World Topiary Day in the past, hasn't it? But I believe this year there's a bit of a problem with that because of the Olympics, isn't there?
Yes, yes. I was at Versailles last week, so all the gardeners are taken by the Olympic Games because it's a very big event.
Yes.
So it was very impossible. They have not enough gardeners to do both.
No, no, which is a shame, but maybe next year they can get back involved. But there are some very good gardens, very well-known gardens taking part this year, aren't there?
Yes, yes. First, we have Marquessac. Marquessac has won our prize giving this year. It's one of the most famous topiary garden in France. And we have just near, we have Erignac, we have La Balue. We have all the biggest topiary garden in France.
Yes, which is fantastic that they take
Yeah,
part
yeah,
as well.
yeah. Yes,
And in the past, we've also had a garden in Australia.
yes. So sorry, they will not participate this year because they sell the garden.
Yes, I believe so. That's a
so,
shame, isn't it?
so it's a shame.
Yeah.
So but we have new gardens.
Yes.
Each time we lose garden and we have new. It's life.
Yes. So, what does it mean for the gardens when they get involved? Are they quite excited about it too?
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I think they are very exciting, and I think it's a good idea to promote the garden.
Mm, yeah.
And it arrived at a good time on the year, on May,
Yes.
before the first manifestation in the gardens. That are we call that les jardins. Enfin, c'est les rendez-vous au jardin in France. The first garden event is rendezvous au jardin on June, at the beginning of June. And the World Topiary Day is 3 weeks before. So it's good
Yes.
to begin a little sooner.
Yes, yes, it is. And obviously, we chose that date in May because at Levens Hall and Gardens, there used to be a thing called the Radish Feast on that
Yeah,
day.
I know.
It was quite a raucous event, I think. So,
Yes.
yes, so it's good for Levens Hall as well because it's the start of their year, and it's the best time to look at the topiary because it's been clipped over the winter time, and it's beautiful in its shape at that point before the growth starts.
Yes, yes, it's the best moment.
Yeah. Do you think that the knowledge of Levens Hall and Gardens has increased because of World Topiary Day?
I think in France, of course, because I think, except people like me
Yes.
that like a lot of that love topiary, a lot of people didn't know Levens Hall because it's far away in the north of England.
Mm.
And I know we make everything to promote Levens Hall, to say it's the biggest and the most fantastic topiary garden in the world.
Yeah. And the oldest, and created by a Frenchman. So,
Yes, but when I think about that, I think the topiary was very small at the beginning when he created the garden. And the
yes.
topiary garden began to be exciting after maybe 30 or 50 years.
Mm.
I don't think Guillaume Beaumont has seen the topiary garden like that.
No.
He,
No.
he saw the design of the garden, I think, only.
Yes. Everything would have been very small when he started that, wouldn't it?
Yes, yes,
Beginning
I've
to
seen,
grow. Yeah.
the design before.
Mm. And this year we have a thing called the Topiary Message in a Bottle, which is moving from garden to garden in a relay fashion. And it's already arrived at the monumental gardens of Al San Zibio near Padua, who I talked to last year in a podcast. But then it's going to Marquesac in the Dordogne, isn't it? Could you tell us a little bit about those gardens?
You can see my topiary by the window.
Oh, yes. That's amazing.
So, oui, Makassar is fantastic because there are so many boxwood, maybe 10,000, more than 10,000 boxwood everywhere. And they are clipped in the very original shape. And with a beautiful view on the countryside. Have you ever seen photos of Marquesac?
No, but
Oh,
I have been to the Dordogne.
yes, yes, it's very interesting. The shapes are very original.
And I believe there's a beautiful view of the river as well.
Yes, it's above the river. You have the Dordogne
Mm.
just down the garden.
Yes. And then it's going to the topiary bottle is going to another garden called La Balou.
La Ballue, yes,
No?
yes. It's another fantastic garden. You have a beautiful terrace with a geometric shapes, like a French garden, but a little surrealism gardens. It was French and original too, you know?
Yes.
Yes. It's not only French garden. No? It has, I think now it has 60, it is 60 years old.
Mm.
But the owner has made it fantastic. She's a very, come on, maniac.
Oh, maniac.
And everything is perfect. I was there the 2nd of January. I was in Brittany and I arrived for lunch. And so it was perfect. It's perfect all the time of the year.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
No.
Incredible.
Yeah. And I believe that there are outdoor rooms, that the topiary is in different groves, outdoor rooms as you move through with different themes.
You speak of the topiaries, the different shapes?
Um, Different areas in the garden.
Yes. There is different area. Yes, there is the formal parterre. There is topiary shapes. They have a labyrinth, a Japanese garden.
Mm.
A lot of part of the garden are very original.
Mm.
And they have trees, pine trees that are also clipped
Okay.
by people that are climbing the trees, and it's incredible. It's very expensive to do that every year.
Mm.
But it's perfection.
And do you have a personal favourite garden?
I think my favorite garden is La Bellue.
Okay. Yes, I could tell.
Every time I go there, my heart has a special don't to begin to beat, especially. Maybe it's the only place where I have this feeling.
Okay. Mm,
Yes, it's incredible.
yeah. Oh, do you think that topiary gardens in Europe are different from those in England? And in what way?
I think they are more formal. As far as I can see, I think in UK you have the shape are more original. I think when you go to the house of Prince King Charles, Highgrove, you have the shapes, original shapes, Levens Hall, and some other gardens. The shapes are very original. And in France, a lot of people didn't succeed to change their way of mind because they are French. They are in the French garden.
Mm.
So the topiary must be like cylindric or balls, and not like you have a teacup or something like that, umbrella.
Do you think that people love topiary more in France than they do in England?
I think you. Oh, I don't know. I think it's the same, but I think in France, topiary was not so good before because the only topiary you could find in the garden was animal or something like that. So people had a bad idea of topiary.
Uh-huh.
And I think because EBTS and maybe the great French garden, topiary has improved, and now it begins to be respected and loved by French people. But at the beginning, say, "Oh, topiary, I don't like topiary. It's anymore." In the villages, that was the taste between the two worlds, but now it's good, and it's better and better each year.
And you mentioned that you have members in Italy.
Yeah.
Which gardens are members?
Yes. I think one of the members is La Gamberaia. I don't know if you know La Gamberaia. It's a very, very famous garden. And they are member of EBTS Fund for maybe 10 years. We have other garden, but not so famous at La Gamberaia.
And where is that based?
And in Florence, Firenze,
Firenze, yeah.
Yes, above the city of Florence.
Uh-huh.
But we have other garden. You have 3 gardens in France, 2 in Tuscany.
Oh, right. Okay. And when you describe the Levens Hall garden to people, what do you say about that garden? Because it's very quirky and different, isn't it?
I think it's a fantastic garden. It's like in a movie. Like it's quite different than the other one because they are much bigger than the others.
Yes, because they've been there over 300 years.
Yeah. But you have the things, the instrument to cut them because all the people maintain the topiary as a normal shape because it's very difficult to cut the topiary at 10 meters old.
Yes.
So what I do, I don't want to fall from my, my ladder. Some people that die when they try to cut the topiary, because I've seen photos of old photos of Levens Hall. It was very dangerous to cut them. No?
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yes. So you're in my garden now.
Oh, right. We're in your garden. Wow.
Yes, but I maintain my topiary at the normal size.
Yes. Oh, I can see. That's fantastic. Oh, thank you for showing us that. Yeah, that's brilliant.
Well, it's like you have some Boxwood. So where you can see the garden.
Yeah, oh, it's huge.
Yes.
Yes, amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you do tours?
Yes, a small one. A small one. I started my garden 30 years ago.
Oh, right, 30 years.
There were nothing there. There were cars, and the tractors and a lot of things. It was a farm.
Ah, okay. So you completely transformed it.
Yes.
Fantastic. If a garden
But
wants to join the EBTS,
yes.
what do they need to do?
Yes, they have to send me an email, and I will send them an application form to become member.
Yeah.
So,
And then they
so
can share in everything that you're doing out there.
yes, maybe I can. I have some membership in English. If I can send it to you, if you want.
Yes, I'd be happy
Huh?
to pass that on. Yeah.
Yes.
When you're not involved with World Topiary Day, what else do you do?
I was a jurist before, but now since I'm retired and for maybe 12 years, I am the landscaper of the city of Lotuke. It's a very British city in the north of France, and I made there all the gardens. Since the 12 years, I can send you some photos, and I made a bulb river and a lot of things. And in Lotuke now, there is a lot of topiaries everywhere.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
So we have our headquarters. EBTS is headquarters at Le Touquet.
Uh-huh.
So you comment dire, nous sommes very involved with Le Touquet, with Topiary and Le Touquet.
Okay. My own personal ambition is to try and get Disney involved in World Topiary Day because they have topiary gardens. Which garden would you like to get involved?
I think we have in France we have maybe all the garden we wanted to have, all the best topiary garden which are already members of EBTS France.
And where will be the next garden that you visit?
The next garden we'll visit, we'll see gardens in the north of France at Cassel in the Flandre. It's very beautiful garden, which name is La Ferme des Récollets, and they are playing with us World Topiary Day. Yes, it's a very good garden. And after we go to Normandy, to Varangeville in June, and after we go to Dauphiné, see fantastic garden near Lyon, Burgundy, and the south of France, Dauphiné. We have a big program for the year. And after we go to Holland in September.
And are there any gardens in Holland taking part in World Topiary Day?
No, not yet. But
No.
I think we have to go there and to speak about it to the good people there.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Patrick. That's been absolutely fantastic. Thank you for everything you've told us today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a nice day.
And you. Bye. Hopefully that's given you an insight into how World Topiary Day has lit up the topiary world. I intimated about why May the 12th was chosen for this celebration and really think I should tell you more about that. That date has a historic significance at Levens Hall and Gardens because it was the date of what was a pretty infamous annual occasion called the Radish Feast, which took place from the late 18th century all the way up to 1877. The Radish Feast sounds like it was a completely testosterone-filled occasion, with no ladies present. It was born out of a local rivalry between two great houses in the area, Levens Hall and Dalham Tower. It was created purely to outdo Dalham and ensure that local dignitaries instead came to Levens Hall at the time of the Milnthorpe Fair. The gardeners would work hard to grow radishes and ensure that on the day of the radish feast, trestle tables would be heaped high with this vegetable, plus oat cakes, or haverbread as it's known, and butter. Alongside this, the other treat of the radish feast was Levens Hall's own special recipe Morocco ale, so acclaimed that it is said the recipe for it was hidden from Cromwell's troops during the English Civil War, somewhere in the Levens Hall Gardens. The Morocco ale was served in huge drinking vessels, which are called constables. You can actually see a pair of these displayed on the wall of Levens Hall by the staircase. The fun of the radish feast, at which copious amounts of Morocco ale were consumed, was very much aimed at the newbies, the first-timers who had never visited before. An initiation ceremony took place whereby each newbie would undergo colting, comprising standing on one leg, downing a constable of Morocco ale at the same time, and raising a toast saying, "Look to Levens whilst the Kent flows." The Kent, of course, if you don't know, is the river that flows right beside Levens. All attendees were also blindfolded and asked to walk across the bowling green, which is now the croquet lawn. They had to walk in a straight line to reach a pathway accessed through the opposite hedge. It was pretty much impossible, but no doubt caused a huge amount of hilarity. And let's face it, there was no Netflix back then. Once Levens Hall passed down the female line, the tradition ceased. Not just because the female owners were probably more sensible, but because they were also married to men with other properties, which were their first homes, so only visited Levens on occasions. So the radish feast fizzled out, but now in its place we have the rather more sober but hugely successful World Topiary Day. Worry not though, you can still buy Morocco ale, or a more contemporary and non-health risk version of it, shall we say, in the Levens shop. And you can even get a taste for it in special Levens Hall chutney. So this year on May the 12th, World Topiary Day will be marked not by constables of ale, but with very special tours conducted by head gardener Chris Crowder. These will explain all about the topiary and its maintenance for the visitors who come along to discover the Alice in Wonderland style garden, which is absolutely full of topiary exhibits like the Great Umbrella and its sister umbrella tree, the toppling wedding cake, the top hat, Homer Simpson, Darth Vader, and Elizabeth I and her maids of honour, plus much more because there are, after all, over 100 examples. There will also be artworks on display from charity fundraising artist Bob Sutcliffe, who will be also staging an art workshop with which visitors can get involved. And the wonderful Levens Kitchen will also be using its patisserie skills to make sure there are edible topiary treats too. Meanwhile, in France, the USA, Belgium, Italy, and other parts of the globe, formal gardens and everyday topiary enthusiasts alike will be celebrating their passion for topiary, teaching members of the public how to clip, and laying on talks and entertainment, as well as helping everybody appreciate what a beautifully maintained topiary garden can offer. So, on May the 12th, head to one of the gardens that's celebrating, or maybe just get started with topiary yourself. You could have a ball, or a peacock, squirrel, duck, pyramid, or whatever other shape you decide to create. It could all add to life in your lane of tranquility. Until the next time, take good care of yourself, whether you are in Malibu or in Manchester. And remember that life is much more fun when you are sniffing out great things to do and doing that most relaxing thing of poodling around.